room and the waiting area out here. It's been a real pleasure to work on this. I've never worked on a real project before, so it's fun.
It's real.
Cool.
Our inspiration comes from what you wanted, which was technology, industry, hard lines, geometry, those kind of ideas. And so I was able to have access to some of your labs, and Cameron and I took a camera one day, and we went into some of the labs and took some photographs. So our inspiration photograph is, this is from the room right next door, from the top of the stairs.
There we go. We call that the Das Boot Lab, after the German submarine movie, if you ever saw that. Yeah.
And that's what we kind of started with. We do have the same image over here on the board. There's several more images over here. There's some macro, some close-ups, some far away, some just some inspiration for images.
Cool.
This image first will go in this room on the wall. These images would go on the back wall here. And so for the materials and furniture, all that, we're going to turn it over to me and Jamie.
Hi everyone. So as she said, our design is based on technology building, which is the industrial field. So this is the floor plan that we did. When you first come in, we created like the concrete polished floor. It's a light color to reflect the dark furniture. We created a small work table over here, and these are the furniture for it. It's metal, and we chose metal because it's industrial. And then we also created a lounge area over here with these furniture, leather, sofa, and chair with a neutral color coffee table. And this area right here is, we found it empty, so we decided to put a bookshelf over here in a small chair, like this one. The window treatment is over here. You can feel it later. It's this one. We chose gray because it matches the space and it's industrial. And for the walls, we chose the white paint color with a contrast of the blue. The blue will go behind this image. It's a focal wall. So we chose blue because it symbolizes loyalty, clean, confidence, and you can go with a concert.
Okay. The comfort room, the window we are sitting in as of right now. This design that we chose for the comfort room will make you feel powerful, elegant, and very strong.
There you go.
We chose the paints, gray and white, to contrast the black that we chose for the industrial feel. The wall base is gray and it brings out the feel. Sorry, I'm getting nervous.
It's okay.
The wall base in the carpet is based on the design that we chose, which is industrial. And this right here, we chose this color black. These are the paints that we chose. them together, you can move them around. You can also, it's easy to store, and you can change the layout, such as if you decide you want to do training, you can put the SS tables away that you don't need, and use the ones that you do need. As far as the lighting, we are keeping the existing lighting in here and adding pins right here under the conference table. The help presentations and be able to see.
Did you say pendant lighting?
And the light
Okay.
right here.
Gotcha.
This right here. And
We'd just like to thank you all again for coming and giving us this opportunity to work on this project. We've all really enjoyed the experience of working on a real-life project, and we'd like to open up for any questions that you may have.
So, what did you learn?
Learned quite a few things.
yes.
Just primarily how to work on it as a team, because in the classroom we're kind of always individuals.
Mm-hmm.
So it really gives us a chance to kind of interact with one another in a new way, as opposed to just being off on our own. And you kind of learn how to, compromise and make decisions and create a cohesive working environment and really bring something together.
Very good.
I think they also learned that working with existing furniture throughout the campus is not easy to do.
Yeah.
That was probably the most trying thing, I
Yeah,
think, where everybody's
yeah.
kind of saying, what are we really gonna do with the lack of stuff we have?
Right.
I also wanted to talk about the office right here. When we didn't choose the existing furniture because they were either too big for the space, because this is small offices, and plus it wasn't matching the industrial look that we wanted to go for. So we chose this desk, and you can change the color. We chose the white laminate, and the fabric of the chair is gonna be this color right here to match the space. The paint of the offices will be the gray color right here and white. And we also have two guest chairs in the offices, and a bookshelf, and the cabinets for storage. And also the wall base is going to be the same, and the window treatment is going to be also the same as the conference.
So is that the furniture in the building? Or available on campus, or is this
That's a
something
new
you
one.
selected? This
All
would be
of
new.
these finishes and furniture is new.
Okay.
Because the existing furniture wasn't,
That's gonna work.
yeah.
And what about I see on that, you have a carpet swatch up there. Which rooms are gonna be carpeted and which rooms are gonna be just the finished concrete floor?
The concrete floor only goes in the waiting area or reception area, right here. The carpet will go in the conference area and the two offices.
And why did you put carpet in the offices?
For safety reasons, because we felt if y'all gonna have movable chairs, somebody might end up falling off the chair and hurt themselves on the concrete.
Plus more fabric, makes less noise and not
So
bounce the sound.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to put window treatments on? Because for every time I've ever been in this space, the window treatments are always open.
If there is a sun, or we chose the solar window treatment just to, you can roll them up
So what does that mean in solar window treatment?
it blacks out the sun, but it still, you still have light comes through the space.
Okay.
That's a good job, because we were in here once and had an issue with sun already. Like the first time we visited this room, the sun was coming in. It was difficult to even stand in the office area, because there was a lot of heat and a lot of brightness.
I had a quick question for you. In some of these rooms, we have these concrete walls. Are you envisioning just using those paint colors over the concrete walls, or would you want to put kind of like a drywall first?
behind the picture frames, or where the pictures were going to be mounted, such as in here, and then out there in the reception living area.
So you didn't talk about the conference room walls and their use as a tools. One of our primary goals for this space would be able to do creative work here, and so we'd be looking at what we can finish the walls with to be able to draw on them, write on them.
I think we did look at an option for a whiteboard. It was like a roll that could be applied to the wall,
Okay.
in which case you would need to drywall beforehand.
Okay.
But that would give you a place to write and stuff up, and be able to teach in the space.
So there isn't a treatment that would let us write on it that wouldn't require plastering that you found?
I don't believe so.
And that's because you need a smooth surface, right?
Right.
I think you might wanna look into that. I think there are a few finishes that you can paint, that you can write right on them.
Right on the wall.
The other issue was the magnetization of them,
Oh.
as well as there's
Okay.
there's the vinyl roll stuff that you do, and you can put on right over this. It would be better to put it on a drywall surface because all the creases that are in the CMU walls will be difficult, but if you drywalled it and then you put the vinyl up, there is some vinyl applications that do have a magnetizing capability, and they maintain a little bit better with their cleaning up and whatnot. And I believe that they have cut sheets in a spec book. What they also have and are gonna provide to you is a booklet that has a bunch of materials and selections in it with specifications. So if you were to wanna order any of those one things or actually go through with it, they're all in the book. I don't know if they don't have samples of them on their board, but it was, because we discussed it, how you wanted to have a lot of whiteboard writing wall capabilities. So there'll probably be specifications for it in the booklet that you get at the end of this as well.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Charlotte Jordan, and I will be presenting our group's presentation along with Sarah Whatwood. Our group members include Jean Warren, Karen Elisa, Kelly Erickson, and Liliana Salas. Okay? All right, so this is our idea. It's designed for the ITech renovation of buildings 212 in the conference space. What we want to do was pretty much pay homage to the old steel case. We wanted to take that and modernize it. Now, we all know that, you know, when you think of technology, you think of cold, you think of just steel and, you know, exposed, you know, beams and such. And that's just very cold. So what we wanted to do was bring some color in, as well as, you know, some exposed elements that will brighten up the space. This right here is actually our inspirational image. And then, as you can see, you know, it's like a 3D piece of art. And what we wanted to do was bring in, you know, just 3D art where it's not just so something that you can touch, something that is, you know, that's a living piece on the wall. Our overall theme is industrial vintage. And again, like I said, we're just paying like homage to the old steel case, you know, just to modernize it somewhat. I'm going to go ahead and give it over to Sarah. She's going to talk about the lounge and the office spaces.
The lounge area, which is this area right here, we wanted to, before we even talked about the concept, we wanted to create a design that pops up and tells you, oh my God, this is industrial design right there. So as Charlita mentioned, this is our inspiration, and we tweaked it up, we changed it up a little to where we created a focal wall of piping incorporated with piers, and this is the elevation for it. So basically, along this wall, which is that wall over there, as you get in, or even from the window, you actually can see this focal wall, and it kind of gives you like, oh, what's going on in there. So basically, the wall would be, that portion of the wall would be drywalled, because we noticed that wall along there above the window is already drywall. So we decided to incorporate drywall on the whole wall, that whole wall section, just to enhance the artwork and make that wall section more balanced. And basically, it would just be a design of piping along with gears, to where it would actually be 3D, would pop up, to where you can go and touch it. And kind of like move the wheel to interest to the space. It would be carpeted and also with sealed concrete. So basically, this section right here would be like the working section, the space where it would be carpeted, and this is the carpet we chose. And the walkway through here, all the way to the conference room, that would be all sealed concrete. And we also decided to use, or to incorporate, kind of like a coffee nook, or a coffee station, which is this area right here. We found that this area was
Like that space.
that space. So we're like, hey, why not incorporate some coffee or cabinetry, storage? So,
We noticed that you need a lot of storage.
and it's excellent because, you know, you have meetings in the conference room, you have people waiting for meetings, and, you know, just to elapse time, get some coffee, drink some coffee. So, okay, so the color scheme in the lounge area would be tones of dark wood, along with tones of blacks with grays in the carpet. The existing tile base would remain. We are not changing that. Existing lights, except for some track lighting above the focal wall to give it more shadows and more interest. We'll be using 2 tones of paint, which would be this green right here, which would be the bottom portion of the wall, and above that would be this off-white, and in between would be a chair rail, or the piping. So it would be going around the whole lounge area, just to give it that industrial feel, that interest. We have some seating, some workspace seating, some waiting seating, and that's basically it for the lounge. Carlita? Oh yeah, the offices, sorry, I forgot. So basically the offices, again, with the issue of the furniture, the existing furniture, we decided to go with proposed furniture because of the size of the offices, because it was so small, and so we decided to go with new furnishing, and also because, you know, to keep it balanced, to keep it more clean line. We decided to use carpet for the wall, for the flooring, rubber wall base, and new furnishings. And the color, the paint color would be like an off-white to give it like a home feel, carpet, with, you know, the lighting would be the stains. That's basically it.
Okay, so, as Sarah was mentioning about the galvanized pipes, we're using that in the lounge area as well as continuing into the conference room space. And it's going to hold pretty much 2 purposes. Of course, you know, you're getting that, you know, that raw, you know, steel look, which is going to, of course, influence the theme. But it's going to also serve as a functional purpose. It's going to, we notice that you have a lack of outlets along the wall. So if we're talking about bringing in foldable tables and things like that, you need to be able to move these tables into a spot to where they can actually, you know, get some power. So what the galvanized pipes will do, actually it will hide the wiring, and you'll also be able to attach, you know, new outlets to it. So, and as Sarah was saying, on this part of the area as well as the lounge, it is actually, you know, there's going to be like a 2-tone wall. So on the bottom portion is the green wall. Can you go to the next slide? You can see it on there. The bottom portion is the green wall, and then the top portion is that like off-white. And of course, that's what we're thinking about, how the industrial look and feel of things. You know, you're used to seeing, you know, the whites, the grays, and things like that. We wanted to bring in some color to add a little energy to the space, as well as, you know, still feeling industrial. And again, so as you can see here, so this is, you know, our conference seating. But we do also have, as you saw on the other slide, we have the foldable chairs and foldable tables that, again, allow you to move them according to, you know, whatever your need is. If you need it for a classroom space, or if you need it for a conference type of feel, or if you need it just for training, you're able to do that and use it as multi-purpose. The flooring, as well as a portion of the entrance, will get this sealed concrete. We like to bring it from the doorway all the way down into the breakfast nook, which kind of separates the lounge and the workspace. It gives it that their own little, you know, their own little space, so it's not all opened up into everything. And then the carpeting, of course, goes all the way down into the two offices. And again, here's our line here separating where the sealed concrete will go.
Can I ask you a question?
Uh-huh.
So we don't have right angles. Is that because this is the true dimension of the space?
Yes.
Because we're on the circle?
Exactly, we measured
So-
and, our building came off very angular, very, very angular. As you can see, it's
So I was
kind of,
picking
widened
that up in
out.
that drawing, and then I'm
Uh-huh.
seeing, my eyes can't be that bad.
Yeah.
You're thinking, they can't draw that badly.
No.
No, I'm sure
They
that
did it on
was-
purpose.
Yeah.
Exactly, I mean, as you can tell, we're on a circular light, so, you know, this room is wider at this portion of the room, but it's narrower up there. So we had to cleverly kind of position the seating, just, you know, for purposes of showing you how the floor plan could look, to fit as many, you know, spaces as you said you needed, about 24 spaces, so. Yep. Now, right here is our projection screen, and we were thinking of like adding like a smart screen to the space. And of course, you know, you're able to use smart screen, you can have smart pens, you can write on it, or, you know, write from a tablet or a laptop or anything like that, so.
That would go along this one.
Right.
Exactly, go along this wall. And we do have on hold, and these look a little similar to what we actually have on hold as facilities. They have 26 chairs that's similar to these, but they actually have padding on them.
Oh, really?
Yes, to be used in this room.
Oh, and those you found on
And
campus?
we did, we found on campus,
Bravo.
and we were able to pull them so they won't be used anywhere
Oh,
else.
sweet. What color are they?
They are blue. They
Okay.
are blue. Like I said, they have actual padding in it.
Okay.
Is that blue represented in that, the swatch on the very end there?
No.
I mean, because you do have a blue square there in that.
So those two pops of color on the end, the blue and the orange color, that's actually gonna play a part in the focal wall, the 3D art treatment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So just like I said, it's just like to add in some really nice, bright colors, just to bring a little energy into the space as well.
So these two colors, the green and the off-white, would actually be the paint colors,
The
and
main
the orange and the gray, and the green covering, this neon, the blue, those are the focal or accent colors that will be used in the space.
Do you have any questions? Any questions?
So I'm trying to understand the meeting table and offices
Okay.
design. So,
Here.
yeah, so the top right image is that space?
Yes, this
Looking
is
into the
exactly.
office,
This is
through the
looking from
window.
that window. Yes, exactly.
Looking through the window.
Looking through the
see
window.
that.
And you can see on this side is where our 3D art installation will go. Yeah, and then of course, right here, we have your little cabinetry for, again, for storage and like a little bit bar, a little breakfast
In the bottom
area.
picture, it shows it really good too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And even in our cabinetry and with our countertops, we use, like this galvanized steel. We don't want, we didn't want anything very polished or,
These are countertop.
yeah.
Oh, as the countertop.
As the countertop, yeah, we didn't want anything, like I said, we didn't want anything that was just too polished or, you know, overworked or overdone. We wanted to really be like very raw.
And also, I did forget to mention, we do have window treatments, shades, willow shades, that would, you know, just in case, you know, the sun's too strong, you know, just pull it down and good to go.
So on a roll?
Are those Roman shades? Is that?
Roller shades,
Roller
like, yeah,
shades.
to reduce like the
Rollers.
glares and such. Have any other questions?
So talk a little bit about the offices. The storage in this design is against the inside wall?
Yes, it's against the inside wall because on this particular office, I do believe it's for the dean, there's the heating vent that runs all the way along.
Right.
So of course, we cannot push something up against there, it's gonna be really hot. And also, we wanted to.
There's a window on that side too.
There is a
Yeah.
window over there too, yeah. And so, and for the offices, like I said, we noticed that you do have already a lot of storage of cabinetry and such. So we wanted to just kind of bring it all together with your desk and give it a very, you know, clean feel. So these cabinets along the wall mimic like a built-in. So they're inside of the desk area, like an L shape.
Okay, so are they tabletop height, or are they
No,
actually
they actually,
storage
they're up
cabinets?
against the wall, they go all the way up to the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So it's extra storage.
yeah, extra storage because we know you're downsizing your office especially.
Mm.
Very nice layout. Do you have furniture in mind?
Yes, we actually have furniture in mind. They were on the first slide, trying to go back to that.
Is this steel case furniture existing? Where would they get that?
Well, we spec for new furniture as well, especially for the offices, because when we started to lay things out, it was kind of like this very hodgepodge feel, and we wanted to kind of clean it up, streamline it, especially because we're going with some colors. You don't want to do too much with furnishings when you're, mixing some colors in there. So we wanted to just bring it all together, and like I said, we spec for a lot of the new furniture, but we do have some existing.
Okay.
Right?
So all of those images are just steel case?
Yes,
Images,
yes. They're kind of like a style of it.
Because I see that stuff around the
I
building.
was gonna say, I
Exactly.
think that there is some of that available, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think we might even have some on campus. I'm not sure.
We've been looking everywhere, at all the
Really?
little storages, yeah. We, like I said, we tagged a couple of things that you guys didn't tag, so.
We
We're
are-
very resourceful.
Tag them.
Yeah, we're very resourceful.
Let's tag, yeah.
We tagged and tagged again.
Well, perhaps you could also look at some local vendors who might actually have repurposed these, because that's a very traditional classic steel case pieces. And they do last, you
Yeah.
finish them there, they last forever.
Right,
Then you
they really do.
can have them put in the color that you want.
Go ahead, Jean.
Hi, I'm Gene. Just to add on to the furniture, we did look at all the stuff that you had tagged, and we tagged a few things that we looked at. The problem with what we saw was that the furniture had a bit of damage, or it didn't match. And that was the biggest problem, so that's why we suggested going with some new things, and it's really hard to bring a whole space together using hodgepodge furniture.
Unless that's your look.
Unless that's your look. We had talked about maybe some kind of restoration countertop. I don't know if we actually went
We have the
as far
specs
as.
for it in the book
We
as
do have
well,
the specs.
because we saw, like I said, we saw a lot of your tagged pieces that were, just say like the laminate or something was, just missing or broken or something like that. So we did spec for some of the, what was it, Jean? It was like a.
It's called Restore.
Restore.
It's a epoxy resin that you apply over countertops, like kitchen countertops and things like that, which could be used on the desk, and the desk could be repainted to match each other, maybe through one of the other classes or something like that.
So one of the things that, we're, as we have gotten around to some other places, there's an organization in Detroit that does deconstruction, and they take their products, and I don't know if you've been down to the Great Lakes Coffee House on Woodward at right across from the Detroit Medical Center, but the whole place is outfitted in what was structural timber from a deconstructed house. And they used the original plaster, the wooden lap, and it's all, old timber, so they clean that up, and they bring them together, glue them together, and they create beautiful countertops. And so we talked with them about doing some work together, and they're very open to it. So if there was an opportunity for us to bring them to the table and look at it, what would you suggest would be the surfaces we want to cover?
Primarily just the tops.
The tops
of the desk and tables, so that they're sort of matching.
Yeah, because even in our design, a lot of our pieces have the steel frames to them, but like a wooden top, So, if you were to bring in like newer materials or whatever, you could actually have like, similar tops, but leave the wood frame, the steel frames.
Mm-hmm.
And there's actually two other organizations. Trying to think of the two places I've worked with them on some other projects, but Restore Detroit is one.
Mm-hmm.
They have tons and tons of materials. We didn't put any research into the book about that because
Yeah,
we just hadn't thought of that element.
right, okay.
But I work with them, and you can imagine what they have. It's all pulled out of old homes and churches and stuff like that,
Mhm.
offices, yes.
Do you have any other questions for us?
And you're suggesting as far as for a meeting room, only a smart board? Is that-
For this space, our conference
Yeah.
area? Yeah, that's what we suggested, yes.
Is there a reason why you're going with such a small piece of square footage there?
No, we just thought that would be a really good, innovative, thing to bring into the room.
Yeah, in the actual floor plan, we had drawn in a projection screen drop down right here with a projector placed in the ceiling plan.
So those are, some feedback from us is that's an absolutely core tool. Would be to have projection units and to have all the wall surfaces be able to be workable spaces. So there's just too much going on where you don't want to do an electronic file storage all the time, and you kind of want to keep reminders, you want to grow projects. And so if you look at some of the, the centers of creative work, you can often see that kind of, and as well as that.
And the magnetized wall surface.
Yeah, that's going to be,
A necessity.
Yeah. We also plan on being able to do some teleconferencing as well in here,
right.
Right, so.
Yeah, well, in teleconferencing through computers.
Right.
So there's gonna need to be a big screen.
Yeah.
And also in our office spaces, I envision a wall with,
Whiteboard as well.
a whiteboard as well as a fairly large LCD screen. Because in that small space, you can have a meeting, you can throw up a spreadsheet,
Multiple?
Yeah.
The second office, more so than the first office, just because you have all of the windows. So,
Yeah, it's gonna be tight in there.
it's gonna be very tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, we either have to hear, is this the?
We would have to all go on that too. Well, thank you very much. Any other questions, anybody, or comments?
Yeah,
Very
you have a comment,
good.
Kevin?
I really like the exposed wiring conduit. I think that's a cool idea. I'm a shop guy though, so.
It's kind of a good way to say who you are, what you do here, without, having to do much else.
Yeah.